So we're back on the Naturalistics website with the Glutathione C IV Power Powder. A lot of you guys are saying that you actually stuck with the regimen and used it and you were getting really good results until it just like wasn't working anymore, and that basically she changed up the mixture. And honestly, when we look at it, because I was doing I think the 113 gram, like, so the smallest bottle. So I was like running through this stuff like within maybe like 2 weeks. So I only did like maybe 2 bottles. So I really didn't stick around long enough because it was like, this stuff is so expensive. I automatically just wanted to get a huge tub of my own glutathione and make my own mixture. But if we go down to back to their ingredients, a lot of these ingredients we've basically talked about on my channel, or we've done like deep dives on. And the interesting thing, especially like the lutein, the zeaxanthin, the NAC, also she has a lot of glutathione precursors added to this, like the glutamic acid, which you'll see L-glutamic acid, and when we take it in our body, like, it converts to glutamine. So if you get those two confused, that's what that is. So L-cysteine, you would think that N and then the acetylated cysteine would be the same thing. L-cysteine is different. Our body naturally makes L-cysteine. NAC, our bodies cannot make it. It's always and always will be supplemented. Right, so the compound is close in nature, but it is not the same. NAC is actually a precursor to L-cysteine, so just FYI on that. Now for skin, it still is very helpful to take L-cysteine. So if you're interested, or if you're already doing NAC, which I do NAC, I do 1200 milligrams a day, make sure I never miss it, then you might also be interested in adding the L-cysteine variant to your regimen. Thankfully, like, it's not that expensive, so to add it on really wouldn't be that big of a difference. You know, when we get to the lutein and the zeaxanthin, at first, like, those prices can be kind of scary, but then you think that you're not mega dosing it, so you're just taking a normal dose, and so getting a bottle and having it last for a while and adding it on to a regimen you're already doing, it's not something that's really going to break the bank. Whereas, like, let's say you're adding on something that you do have to megadose, like, you know, an MSM, obviously you're going to be going through a lot of that. What else we megadose? Oh my gosh, milk thistle. So adding on milk thistle, usually you would not be taking the recommended dosage. I know I don't. I see better results when I'm taking like 4 of like my milk thistle, and those are like starting at like around a little above 300 milligrams. So for some of these, it is cost effective to add them because you're not megadosing and you're still getting the benefits. And then, you know, for others, you'd have to get like, you know, quite a lot to where it would make quite a big difference. But I was just interested that, you know, most of you guys said like this was working for you when you were using it long term, and then, you know, she changed it up on you and that's why you're not using it anymore, you stopped using it. And I see why it's so expensive, because when we're going through these ingredients, none of this stuff is like exactly cheap. Like, when you put it all together with the glutathione, you guys already know what glutathione is priced at across the board. It's around pretty much the same price. But when you're adding on the lutein, the zeaxanthin, the NAC, the L-cysteine, the glutamic acid, on top of like the vitamin C, she's saying that she's using the highest grade of vitamin C. To me, I'm assuming she's talking about maybe the ascorbic acid compound of the vitamin C. I think there's 3 different vitamin C's. And then that's just a little bit of, like, she was talking basically about the main stuff, but if we go down to the actual ingredients where it's like kind of broken down, also understand that you're getting about 8,000 milligrams for half a tablespoon of this glutathione, and then obviously if you're doubling it, you're going to get 17. So, you know, you're taking a lot of it, but, you know, some of this stuff is going to be helping with the flavor. Also, just by looking at the ingredients, I don't know this for sure, so this is just me putting in my opinion and assuming, but a lot of the stuff that is in this, I think, is already a protein whey blend. I say that because obviously she has the whey protein in here. The whey protein already has like things like cysteine in it. It already has L-cysteine in it. Whey protein also has other like different B vitamins, and so I think to cut down on prices, she might have changed up the whey protein blend that was already getting a lot of these other vitamins in it, and to save on cost, because when you're buying all of these by themselves, I think she's probably, I don't know. Like I said, this is my opinion, but we're, you know, I'm sitting here trying to assume on why it stopped working for someone, why they're like, she changed the, you know, the batch was like a bad batch or whatever, or the ingredients. I don't think the ingredients on the website, I think they're the same ingredients as they were 2 years ago, you know, when I was trying it, when everyone was having better results. I think honestly, she probably just changed the brands and started getting, you know, blends that already had some of this stuff in here to cut down on cost, and that's when she didn't have control over how much of each vitamin, because like it doesn't really give us the breakdown of, okay, how much folic acid, how much vitamin B6, how much niacin. That's another thing she has added in here, which a lot of you have told me that you're taking niacin and that it's really helping, so to get on that bandwagon. The pantothenic acid, I took it by itself, but for me I was having side effects, so that's something that I would not add. Like if I had to buy some of this stuff by itself, I wouldn't do the pantothenic acid again, but that's just me. Biotin, I can't do biotin, but some people can. You know, vitamin B12, I was pretty sure vitamin B12 was biotin. Let me check really quick. I don't know, I could be completely wrong, but vitamin B12, oh actually vitamin B12 is that energy vitamin. So anyways, so I tried vitamin B12 last year, and basically what happened was I was doing it for energy, and I was taking like the droplets, and I was starting to break out like these really large painful cystic acne. So for some people, so I think that's why my mind went, oh, B12 is whatever, biotin. B12 isn't biotin, they're different, but I had the same bad reaction as I had on biotin. So you know, for some people I wouldn't add too much of it in there, like not to say that you using just a small amount of biotin in it, but for some people you might be, I don't want to say allergic to it, but you know, it might cause side effects that will like freak you out. Like the cystic acne that I got when I was on the B12, it lasted for months. It was really awful. It was like under the skin, and you know, it did scar up a little bit. So you just have to be careful. Some of these things you just have to try on your own. But also we see that she has the zinc in here. That's awesome. Selenium, I have not, I know that selenium is a precursor for glutathione. I want to say, I guess we could say a precursor, not necessarily a cofactor, but it's in a lot of these skin lightening blends, like, you know, the really good blends. And so I could see that. You see she has glycine in here. We know glycine is already a sturdy precursor to glutathione. She has some other things like chicory root, taurine. I'm not sure about the taurine and what that does. Tyrosine, I'm not sure what that is. You know, so some of this stuff, obviously, when we get to like the cranberry and the leaf extract, the stevia, some of this stuff is just like for the flavor, for the taste. So I really wouldn't worry too much about it. For the copper, I think if you're already taking, what is that green stuff I love, the liquid chlorophyll, that does help raise copper a little bit. I think there's a certain brand that does. So I wouldn't necessarily say go out and buy copper if you're already on something like, you know, daily liquid chlorophyll. You're gonna already get that. I'm not sure what the manganese is, or manganese, or if it's, you know, something that'd be very helpful, but a lot of the stuff that's in here, I can already tell it's probably added into the protein blend. So whatever whey protein blend she is using, I don't know, like I said, this is all hypothetical, but I think it would be good to, especially since a lot of these we've done deep dives on, to just make your own blend. You know, sometimes no one can do it as well as you can. That can be with hair products, you having to go and make your own hair products, or with blends like this. We know based off of the ingredients alone, they are really good ingredients, but obviously if you just can't budget it, like I couldn't budget it, like it was too expensive for me, but I see why it was so expensive with all of that stuff that was in there. But I think for a lot of people, doing the initial spending the money on all of these, not all of them, but you know, a good chunk of these supplements, and then just making your own blend would actually save you money in the long term, especially adding on things like I said. So the vitamin D we're already taking. I did a video on vitamin D, why you should be taking it. You know, the vitamin C, you can get vitamin C in huge. You don't have to get liposomal, especially she's not using liposomal, or I'm pretty sure she would have said she's using liposomal vitamin C. So if you were using this for a while and you notice you're still getting results, you can get a vat of just regular vitamin C, like a sorbic, or what are the other ones? One is a sodium vitamin C, but you can get that and get a lot of it for cheaper than like doing like the packets of vitamin C, or like the tablets. Vitamin E, that is rather cheap to get. Vitamin A, I've never taken vitamin A, but I'll have to look into that. But you know, yeah, a lot of this stuff you could just add on yourself. And the zeaxanthin and lutein, we already know that's a big one. Like, that's a game changer. The what was it? Not the NAC, but the just the L-cysteine. That might be another game changer. I could see myself adding that again. That's something you could add without, you guys hear that thunder? Without making, you know, a huge dent in your wallet, because again, you're not gonna have to take a whole lot of it. Yeah, so just L-cysteine powder alone, you can get it like starting like at $14–15. And remember, we're not gonna be mega dosing this, so it's going to last you months, is basically what I'm seeing. Yeah, sometimes even like 60 pills, $10. So, I don't know, just food for thought, especially for those of you who really liked it. I think that she has a solid recipe. I think it was just maybe trying to cut costs on some of this stuff, or maybe not being able to get some of this stuff in bulk, so some of the batches didn't have as much, because again, we don't have the measurements of just how much niacin is in it, just how much folic acid is in this, how much zinc, how much lutein. So just my 2 cents.